crucifixion, okay? And he's got a beard, and maybe some of us imagine him as an old man with a gray beard. And he's sitting on the edge of heaven, and he's looking like this. Oh my goodness. And he's just as shocked as we are. That is the wrong image of God. God's not shocked. He's not surprised. He is totally and completely in control. And when my life starts to spin out of control and I lack the understanding that I need, I can always go to the rock of creation.
Yes.
I can go to the source of strength and the deliverer to give me peace in my time of storm. He shall keep you in perfect peace as long as your mind stays on me. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not unto your own understanding. You got to realize who he is. And once you realize who he is, you'll understand what he does. And so our perspectives must change. And in our text this morning, in Daniel 4:35 through 36, King Nebuchadnezzar, who had taken the people of Judah, a pagan king dealing with rebellious people. And I want you to know that even though God had rendered judgment, God's judgment is always mingled or mixed with mercy. And I know some things in our lives, they haven't been all the way like they're supposed to be. There's been some mistakes that we made. There have been some boo-boos. There have been some accidents.
Yes.
But I tell you, God's judgment is mingled with mercy. And what I mean by that is that even though God is punishing me, even though God is spanking me, he's still going to deliver me. He's still going to bring me out. And this I have no doubt. But there has to be something that happens within me. Nebuchadnezzar, he thought everything that he was doing was because he was so wonderful and great and magnificent. He failed to recognize one important thing: that heaven rules. And in our lives, we must never ever become delusional. When our imagination tells us that we're in control, when we look at the positive things that exist in our lives, it's not because of us, but it's because of him. And we've got to understand that. We've got to know that. We've got to appreciate that. Now, when we talk about knowing something, there's several ways that we can grow or develop to know something. When you go to class, baby, and you sit there and you listen to the teacher, that's one thing you can do, right? Right? That's one way you can learn, by sitting in the classroom, all right? And you're observing, you're reflecting, you're thinking. That's one way you can know. But there's another way to know. There's another way to grow. It is experiential. Meaning that it comes through more than just a mere observation. And that it goes into an investigation where God now proves himself through you through experience. Now, I'm not saying you got to have faith in your experience, because we must have an experience with faith.
That's right.
But what I am saying, in order for you to know him and the power of his resurrection, you got to have the fellowship of some of this suffering. But Paul said that I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to compare with the glory that's going to be revealed in me. So what I'm going through now, to experience him and to know him, has no comparison to the benefit of the reward that I will receive later. And so there are some things that we've got to experience. There are some things that require more than just reflection. And sometimes God proves himself in a narrow place. But you got to understand that heaven rules. And if you look at the Hebrew in the particular text of Daniel 4:26, would you read that? Because God is dealing with King Nebuchadnezzar, who has the wrong perspective of his greatness. He does not realize that everything he is because of God. Read Daniel 4:26. What does that say?
4:26 reads, "But the stump and the roots were left in the ground. This means that you will receive your kingdom back again when you have learned that heaven rules."
When you have learned, when you know, when you recognize. Come on, go back to it. What does it say?
It reads, "But the stump and the roots were left in the ground. This means you will receive your kingdom back again when you have learned that heaven rules."
When you have learned that heaven. That word heaven in the Hebrew means the address of God. When you realize where power lives, where authority dwells, when you realize that heaven rules, that means that heaven has all might, heaven gives all permission, that means that heaven has all dominion, that heaven is the boss. When you recognize, know, understand, and learn,
yes,
then I'll restore you. Then I'll keep you. Then you'll know that I walk with you and talk with you. But oftentimes God leads us to a narrow place. And a narrow place has described in the New Testament. Want you to get Romans 8:35 and Autumn. Find 2 Corinthians 4:8. And I'm going to explain something to you. We may be having some experience. I told you that some things are experiential with God.
yes,
You've just got to go through. After you've gone through a situation with an individual, you understand them so much better. You do. In that situation, you learn about their character. You learn about whether or not you can depend on them or you can't depend on them.
That's right.
And so God wants us to have some experiences, and specifically we're going to see in 8:35, Romans 8:35 and 2 Corinthians 4:8. We're going to see experience with distress. But even when we're experiencing distress, which is a narrow place, we must not become distressed. And you do not have to become what you're experiencing. In other words, what I'm going through, I don't have to allow that to rub off on me. I'm going through pain, but I don't have to become pain. I'm going through heartache, but my heart does not have to ache. All right, you got Romans 8:35. What does it say?
It reads, who shall separate us from the love of Christ? Shall tribulation?
Shall tribulation! We already answered the question of that. Nope. All right, what else?
Or distress?
Distress! Okay, let's talk about distress. And what does 2 Corinthians 4:8 say?
We are pressed on every side by troubles, but we are not crushed. We are perplexed, but not driven to despair. We are hunted down, but never abandoned by God.
Okay, Ms. Sonia, would you get 2 Corinthians 4:8 in the King James Version? What does it say?
We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed.
Wait a minute. Romans 8:35. It said that what shall separate us from the love of God? It says shall tribulation, shall distress. But then here in 2 Corinthians, it says I'm not distressed. And so when I'm telling you, it seems like those two are contradicting one another, but they're not. What it's saying is that sometimes I'm going to find myself in a narrow place. And that narrow place, it has pain associated with it. It has grief. It has loss. But I don't have to allow that to rub off on me. I don't have to become what I'm experiencing. That doesn't have to happen. You can be crushed in a narrow place. You can experience death in a narrow place. You may feel like the walls are closing in on you. But the narrow place can also be a place of life. I want you to know that yea, though I walk through a narrow place, a valley is a narrow place. Yea, though I walk through a narrow place, I shall fear no evil, for God is with me. Now, if I was by myself, I'd be in bad shape. But the God who cannot fail, who is sovereign, who is omnipotent, who is omniscient, who cannot be changed, who does not sleep, who does not sleep, he goes with me every single step of the way. I want you to know that it is from a narrow place, the birth canal, that life springs forth. It's from a narrow place that the tomb was, where Jesus, he came and he brought life, and more abundantly, it was a narrow place. A narrow place does not have to be a place of death, but it can be a place of life that's free from all strife. It's in a narrow place that we begin to experience the power, the holiness, and the magnificence of an almighty God who cannot fail and who will never, ever go back on his word. That's right. And so I want you to get Romans 11 and 33. And so, we're going to wrap this up for today. But God is in complete control of every situation. Sometimes we think of good experiences from God and the bad experiences from the devil. And I want you to know God is in control of your good and your bad experiences. He is in control even when you experience heartache or happiness, or bless or curse, joy or sadness, triumph or tragedy. All right, Romans 11:33. What does that say for me?
It reads, "Oh, what a wonderful God we have."
What a wonderful God we have. Don't let Satan put any doubt in your mind about how wonderful our God is. And we already understand and know that He is in complete control.
Sure. Yes.
I don't have to be worried, concerned, but I got to know that God is in complete control. He's got my front, my back, my top, my side, my bottom. That's an impenetrable spear around me. His angels are camped round about me. I remember a situation in the Old Testament where there was Elisha, and he was able somehow to tell the king of Israel every time the king of Aram moved. And the king of Aram thought he had a traitor in his midst. But one of his servants says, God even tells Elijah what you talk about in your bedroom. And he said, I'm going to have to kill that prophet. And all of these armies, they circled Elijah and his servant. And his servant was afraid. He was scared to death. But Elijah told him something. He said, there are more of them with us than they are with them. And his servant thought he was crazy. But when he prayed and the eyes of his servant were open, he saw all the hosts of heaven surrounding the armies of Aram. And God is there. And He is for us, not against us. And there are more of them, more heaven that surrounds us, that abounds around us, than it is Satan.
Yes. Yes.
All we need to do is have our eyes open to know. So how wonderful is our God? And what does it say?
It says, how great are His riches and wisdom and knowledge.
Wait a minute. He can't run out of wisdom. He's rich in it. He's not going to go bankrupt. And He won't run out of knowledge. And as it says in the book of James, if any person, if you lack knowledge, He gives wisdom to all freely and upbraideth not. You just need to open your mouth and ask. So we know we got a wonderful God. He is rich in wisdom. It's inexhaustible. It's unfathomable, which means it has no depth. You just go deeper and deeper and deeper. Deep calleth the deep, the deep, the deep. Come on, what else does it say?
How impossible it is for us to understand His decisions and His methods.
You are not going to understand